What's up, Ascending Males? What's up? What's up? What's up? Here again to deal with the other pillar, of masculinity. Um, that other pillar being confrontation. Right? Now, as usual, I'm gonna start off with the disclaimers. Them saying, um, the whole thing behind the confrontation is the idea that a king must always be ready um, to fight. Always. You must have the capacity for violence at all times. This is what allows you to be respected in the world of men. Your physicality, your demeanor, your presence, the energy that radiates all of you, all of this is a deterrent measure in a sense. So that they always say, like, the best offense, the best defense is a brilliant offense. That's kind of like what you do, being a man. You really have to retain the capacity for violence, where your weaknesses aren't advertised at all. Here's something silly. I wear glasses, right? I wear glasses, and when I'm at work or I'm doing anything on my laptop and whatever, I'll have my glasses on. But if I'm going in public, I would never wear that. That's like advertising weakness in a sense. Yeah, but I do wear it at times because I mean your image is kind of like a tool. So me in glasses, it kind of disarm people. I'm kind of in the finances. That's kind of the area I'm at. So I kind of have to look the part sometimes. So I use it in that effect. But however, if I'm going into certain spaces like Medar Road, a yard as in, I have to watch how I portray myself, because you open up yourself to attacks. Now, this whole thing, if I yard you come from, you know say, boy, Jamaica tough. And a baby can make it there in a certain circles, right? Certain places, certain men can never go. Then we have this term like the ghetto, and everybody could have like come out of like whatever posh lifestyle they're in and go in at the ghetto and still function and be respected at the same way, because there's different levels for men. Just because you're making it in the conventional world doesn't mean that in the man's world you're scoring any points either, because in our world competence and capacity is what you're judged for, not necessarily what you have accomplished. Yeah, that too, but again, you must retain the capacity. If I'm a champion fighter, and I've attained the championship, if I don't retain that level of masculinity that it took to get that, then I invite a tax challenger, and then you have a new champion, right? That's how the world of men works. So even what you've done is fine, but can you do it again, and can you consistently do it? This is how the world of man, that's how we judged, all right? That is very tough. So, like, even if you are a corporate man, even if you're up on the island and you decide to go in a corporate world and you're in the upfront economy, you must retain the capacity for violence. Not violence, mind you, the capacity for violence to be able to go into the underground economy, which functions here on the island as well, and still be respected amongst the men there, right? So you have to retain the capacity for violence. No, you know what entails this? Your physicality. You can't weak, bro. You really have to speak directly, concisely. You have to look a man in the eye when you talk to him. Be respectful and don't take no disrespect either. How you carry yourself, the people you have around you, the females you have around you, all of this go into the capacity for violence and the capacity to defend yourself if need be. All right. So it's more like deterrence is what I'm saying to you. So as a man, you have to develop this deterrence, this physicality, this capacity for violence that keep other attackers in check. Now, what happens when this fails? What happens when you're portraying to be a strong man and whatever, but the fight just comes, as it will inevitably come for all of us? I mean, if you're a warrior up on the island, say your test is coming. We all had to go through it, right? So what you do? If you're on the king's path, it's different for you. I have to say this to you. You see, if you are in a situation where it has to come to physical blows, you have failed. If you're on the king's path, something went wrong. Unless this is what you want, unless you wanted to have this fight or this display a lack of emotion, and it took us serve certain ends. You come into a physical altercation, you have failed. You were supposed to either diffuse the situation, hobble this enemy or whoever is you're supposed to be able to can time up if if you can't be reasoned with, or find some way to get rid of him without even having a physical confrontation, right? Worse if this enemy is not on your level. Worse if the enemy is not on your level. You have to choose your enemies carefully. All right. If you're on the king's path and you have something to lose, you can't be involved in a brawl in the streets. All right. That is unacceptable. That is just because the only man who will fight with you like that is a man who don't have nothing to lose. Why would you entertain that? All right. So what? First thing, be sure you choose your enemies carefully. Like if a person is not on you, a champion will not accept a challenger has not done anything. Why would you? Why would I have a fight with you and give your name recognition with mine? So say that yes, we even have a confrontation in the first place. So this is what I mean by choosing your enemies carefully, right? So if you do decide, say, all right, two scenarios. One, the enemy is not on your level. The other, he is, or probably even higher. Because, I mean, why fight with somebody not higher than your level, right? So let's say you're having a confrontation and it comes, it's let's say it's a legal issue, all right? Again, if you come to physicality, even though you're physical, you would have failed. Your soft skills weren't up to par. For you to come to a point where a hot war is necessary, all diplomatic efforts have failed or they were non-existent. All right, and this can cause so much reputational damage for you down the road. Supposed to kill the man, right? You have to then deal with these legal issues so it's frowned upon in this circle. A classic men where like the war should be indirect in a sense to be regarded as being a good fight. You come into blows, you're going into the trenches, man. I mean, that's not the king's way. All right. So you have to choose your enemies carefully. So in the case where this enemy now is probably not on your level, probably is a few levels below you and what have you, use the law. You should not be entertaining a fight without having the moral law. You can't win that fight. There's certain things that has to be in place to ensure say yes you can marshal up your forces, and by forces I mean your emotions and all this. You have to know say you're right. You have to know say like the reason why you're fighting. If 10 people come on now, 10 other gents, 10 other kings come on and look on now, why man, you have no choice, you have to fight. You kind of want to make sure say that is your position. You must have the moral law in all cases, whether the enemy is lower than you or higher than you. You must have the moral law, or else you are going to another territory which me not go entertain. All right, that's being manipulative. So we are talking about being kings here. If you want to entertain discussions there, so we can do a thought experiment. But we're on the right path. We're on the upright path. We're trying to move up in a society. We're trying to move up spiritually, physically, financially, in every sort of way. We're not doing anything underhanded for karma to come touch you back. All right, so we leave that at the side. So any confrontation that you actually come upon, you must ensure so you have the moral law. If you do not have the moral law, find some way to negotiate this. You will not win, especially if you have the morals and virtues that were explained before. You are of a certain frequency. You cannot go outside of that, or else all of the protections and spiritual armies that you could draw upon, they go off of the moral law. If you don't believe so you're right, I mean they won't come to your aid. You really do have to believe so you're right in every confrontation. If you're not right in that confrontation, that's not a confrontation being. You took a wrong turn somewhere, right? So you have the moral law, but this enemy is not on your level. This is a man is hoping to embarrass you some way in the public eye, for his name to be called alongside yours, and have this confrontation in the public eye where probably the morals and law really no matter, it's really just the emotions, because there's plenty battlefields, the emotional plane, the media, the law, the physical battlefield, the sea, there's so many battlefields that you can choose. But the easiest one when persons try to do is going after your reputation. And people who are lesser than you tend to want to do this. They'll try to attack your reputation first. There's a reason why I had advised you to develop your masculinity in a certain way, because doing it that way, you will be admired by the persons around you and the public and other men who are trying to make themselves against you as well. You have to create a public persona that whoever go attack, you have to attack that persona first. So chances are, if someone is lower than you on a level, that he's going to come after you in the court of public opinion. That's kind of like the only place you can win. Get the emotions of other people, mash up your name pretty much. So with this enemy now, you can't fight, or you shouldn't fight an enemy that is less than you. You would have failed if you are sure, if you give this challenger a fight, and the challenger isn't deserving or at your level. So you can't seem to publicly attack or retaliate against this person. The best thing to do in public is to be indifferent. Even if someone is supposed to directly ask you what's the details of this, what's the issue, try some way to go around that. Do not publicly try to entertain or fire back at this person if you believe this person is not on your level. The indifference is actually hurting them, because the longer you avoid it, the more pressure on them to actually escalate. It's not that you're not going to do anything. How you handle enemies who are less than you, you're gonna hobble them. The best thing to do is use laughter. Find social media is there. You hobble them. You don't have a direct fight with them. If you can have someone else to fight with them on your behalf, even better. But whatever efforts you use, it shouldn't be a public display of like retaliating against this person. You have to work in the shadows. For instance, say you're a corporate man and you go for karate girl. Alright? But let's say that's the case. You're a corporate man, you do your thing, you see a girl on the road, you go link her with a ratty girl, ratty no, ratty come after you. See? Now, you being a business owner, manager in the bank, you can't be seen to be having a back and forth with ratty. Alright? You're above this, right? You can't ignore ratty either. Because ratty has the capacity for violence just like you. But you cannot make it look like the ratty is on your level. He use laughter. He must have something, some dirt on him somewhere. You hobble him. Depending upon the way he is coming at you, you come at him same way, but indirectly. But you never give that direct, or that direct retaliation in public, so people can see that yes, you're actually having a fight with ratty over Keisha. Right? You can't make that happen. So you find other ways to hobble it. Get the police involved, maybe find out some, and again, this is indirect. Nobody can know that this happened, right? So find some dirt. Ratty have an enemy, I guarantee you. Make it public, say you fuck ratty girl. No, then so you go fight more going for. I mean, you have ways in fight, but you can't be the person who does this. All I said to you, you can't be the person who will do this. Speaking to your network and stuff like that. So again, choose your enemies carefully. You have a lot to lose if you give the wrong challenge an opportunity. There are fights that you can get into, lose, and still come out good, because whoever you fought against was your level or higher, which is the next case that I'll get into. So Ratty sort out, you take care of Ratty. Ratty got arrested for some weed charge when we have a deal with that done with, right? So continue on your journey, you have another confrontation. Probably this is about a real estate. Probably it's about getting a particular piece of land to buy, right? And you have this one other person where on your level for sure, if not higher. You are just a coming in the real estate business. He's been in the real estate business for a while, where this upstart ago. Right? That's the attitude. And you can't push, you can't back away capacity for violence. Again, you can't back away, you must fight. What kind of form this fight take? It cannot be physical amongst kings. It cannot be, right? You know, would I probably like find some sort of way to either make it a win-win situation where you both benefit, find some sort of way to offer probably like some equal return for the opportunity. But whatever it is, you cannot come to blows. One thing you must know about people at this level, they tend to want to collaborate. If you have them type of views that we are dealing with, you're going to want to collaborate. It's much more efficient to be collaborative than to be, adversarial. It's more, a war is way more expensive, whether it be indirect or direct. So it's best for have some sort of collaboration, and this is how now this is how choosing your enemy becomes so important, because if I choose the right rival, the right rival will understand that we both can decimate each other. The mad theory, right? Mutual assured destruction, right? We both know that we can cause each other some problems, right? So collaboration becomes like it's the most likely thing for both sides if you can have the smarts to make it attractive to both. Right. So when it comes to the whole battle and the confrontation thing, yes, choose your enemies carefully. Do not fight with people less than you, or persons who don't have anything to do. Let's put it that way, because the value of a human is priceless, right? If you ever realize what we really were, right? But I mean, let's say somebody, like, we just deal with physicality, like somebody, if he's not on your level, this is not a good fight. It will benefit you in no way. However, if this person is on your level and higher, this presents an opportunity for collaboration rather than having a full-on confrontation, because you both will lose assets in doing this. So this is how now you have the elites at the top. That's what I always say. Racism now exists in certain circles. Certain social norms don't exist in certain circles. All that matters is the mental capacity. So at a certain level, you and another adversary would likely to collaborate on something. All right, it's usually how. So this is how you choose your enemies carefully. And in the book 48 Laws of Power, I think Robert Greene have one chapter about using your enemies, and this is like a very good example for it. Where, I mean, yes, this man is my adversary if you try to get this business deal or what have you, but we both have made gains in this business world and what have you. It would make sense for us to collaborate on this business deal as opposed to fighting over it. We both would lose resources. So you're using your enemy. In this case, you're using this enemy to acquire another piece of business. Yeah, you may not be 100%, but it's still 50%. It's better than nothing at all if you were to lose this war, and you can't lose. That's the very next point. I think Warren Buffett said, honestly, investing is just guarding against losses, and life is like that as well. You kind of have to guard against losses. Losses will come, but don't I know it? But these losses, it must not be within your control. You must try as best as possible to guard against losses, because money will come to you, opportunities will come to you, but chances are most of us can say we missed out on some opportunities because of some bad decisions that we've made before. Most of us can say that. So don't lose. Which is why it's so important to choose your battles carefully, because you can't choose a battle where you're going to lose them. Alright, so this is why collaboration makes more sense than confrontation at a certain level, because losses, and any investor, any man moving like how me I move and how you are move, I will tell us that we can't take losses. So it makes more sense to collaborate, right? But don't lose, bro. You cannot lose. Whether it be a legal battle, a battle in the media, a battle amongst your peer, you cannot lose. You cannot lose. So guard against losses. All right. And again, I must reiterate: use the law. Use the law, because that is an acceptable battle space. Expensive, mind you, but the law it's best to use the law, especially when it comes to confrontation. But using the law is protection. That does not take away from the realm of men, where you have to remain remain in such a physical capacity that you're capable of violence at any time. That's how your respect continues. So long and short, be careful of your enemies, not so much your friends, because this is a lonely path. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You will have no friends. You'll have people who are your associates, people who you benefit from, or who benefit from you, and your network. People who are loyal to you have to be in your tribe. That's why the choice of a mate is so important. That's why your family structure is so important. You have to organize that first, cause that's kind of like your inner circle. You and the king's path. Someone is always looking at an opportunity from you, as you are always looking at an opportunity out there in the marketplace. Understand this. So for a friend, it's a liability. So and it sounds terrible, but prove me wrong. So yeah, when it comes for confrontation, choose your enemies carefully. Alright? And this king's path, you must retain the capacity for violence. And no matter how bad that sounds, that's the world I'm in. Welcome to manhood.